welcome to a special edition of Cooking with Kraen in Kraen's Kitchen. Now, this is really not my kitchen, and I'm on vacation up in High Falls, New York. This place is great. It's called Dave's Milk Barn, and yes, it's a barn. Greatest place ever. Pictures are following. But anyway, if you're ever on vacation and you're like in the middle of nowhere, which is great to be on vacation when you're in the middle of nowhere, and you don't really want to go to the store or anything like that, so you find things to, make, to eat, and you'd be surprised what you can come up with. So I brought some food with me, but then I ran out because I ate it all. So now, the kitchen here had peppers. Oops. I put some olive oil in here and some peppers. And this is a great time to explore on foods that you've never had before. Such as fried bananas and peppers. Now, when I say fried bananas, I'm not confusing it with the plantains, because those are the ones that you really fry, but unfortunately, this is the only thing that I had left. So, what I'm going to do is, so now we're exploring this together. So, I get to cook it, I get to eat it, and then I get to share it with you to see if it's something that I would recommend. But everything that I cook comes out fantastic, so why not try it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this banana, and I'm just going to slice it up, and we're just going to fry it up a little bit. Now, I used olive oil. Olive oil is not the best oil to, put on a high heat, so I put the stove at low, and that way olive oil, it won't burn. The best oil to use at a high heat is peanut oil, because it can take the heat. Now, me being a chef, if there are any other chefs out there that disagree, definitely let me know, because maybe there's something that I don't know wholeheartedly. And then, while we're doing this, I'm going to get to some letters that some fans wrote to me. I receive a lot of fan mail, which I'm very grateful, so thank you very much. And for the person who got a hold of my phone number, I don't know how you got it, but thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words that you left for me 12 times. Love it. Anyway, so I put that in there, and now we're going to take my wooden spoon, and I'm going to mix this up. And again, this is something that I've never cooked before, so this is the first time I'm going to be trying this and eating it. And yes, I always eat what I cook. Sometimes not all of it, but so far, there's something that there hasn't been anything that I've cooked where I was like, oh, really, I made this? Well, alright, maybe a couple of times I did. Right? So, that's what the fun thing about exploring is. You're in a new place, and then you go and explore, and then all of a sudden it's just like, I don't know how many people at home. I used to do this when my mother went out to go grocery shopping. We used to open up the cupboards and then, all right, let's make something, let's see what we can cook in a half hour. You know what I mean? I'm surprised I'm not, dead yet, because my mother didn't kill me for half the stuff that I've done and wasted. It wasn't intentional, though. Yeah. And at that same time, I'm going to give you a little history on my cooking experience. I remember that one time that my mother had a steak that evening. We didn't have steak a lot, so it was, and I didn't know that the broiler was in the oven. I thought it was the broiler because I saw my mother take the broiler pan out of the bottom thing there, so I thought it was the broiler. And I remember sticking the steak in there, and I left. I went out to go and play with my friends. And my mother looked in the refrigerator, and she couldn't find the steak. Me, playing with my friends and stuff like that, I totally forgot about it. But then I'm thinking, you know what? It's on low, I think. And because I turned on the oven and I felt the heat, so the steak is in there. But all of a sudden, I come back in the house, my mother's like, she's looking for the steak, and I was like, Mom, I made a surprise for you. I cooked dinner. And she opened up the broiler. Yeah, the cooked steak was still raw. I really thought that the broiler wasn't, it was a pan storage place, really actually wasn't the broiler, which I thought it was. So, things you learn. Now, going back to these bananas and peppers, and it's not banana peppers. I wonder if that's where they came from. No, not really. So, that's an interesting smell. So, the ingredients that I have in here, are those red peppers, yellow peppers, and these little hot chili peppers, which I found here in the kitchen, and the olive oil, and then the banana that I threw in there. And they look about done. So now, this is going to be a quick snack, or if you're absolutely desperate because you ran out of food, to eat. So, so you don't really want to have it like mushy, So, I'm just going to try this out. It's just hot. That is hot. Oh my god. And I'm not even talking temperature hot. Holy shit. What has pepper hot? Oh my god. I think maybe one pepper will do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hot peppers in here. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna turn this off. I don't know how to turn this thing off. Oh shoot. Oh, it's still on. Oh. So. Anyway. Ooh. Wow. So if you're into spices, let me tell you, spicy banana. So in this episode, I made a spicy banana treat, which really would only require 1 pepper and 1 banana, and maybe a dash of olive oil. I stuck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, total of 6 peppers in there, and 1 banana. So, alright. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Cooking with Kraen, and not in Kraen's Kitchen. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.